So just want to make sure that's dandy. All right, now I think I'm live on normal YouTube. Um, okay. I should be live. um, let's see. Twitch should be good. So we have Twitch now. And all right. For some reason, I don't see myself as live, which is a little concerning. I don't want to all this to just be for naught. Yeah, I don't see Brave Bird live on YouTube. I don't see it live. Why am I not live? Why? Or maybe it's because I'm not public. There you go. Duh. Okay. Now, I think we're cooking. Alright, lit. Now I can see I am live on YouTube. So. Alright. Now we're cooking, guys. Now we are cooking. So now I will let me just put a test message in my YouTube chat. Just to make sure we're good here. I'll just say hi. Let's see. Cool. Now we can officially start the stream. So, I know this is a bit of unexpected stream. And if you see the topic of the title, I'll be discussing everyone's favorite spicy topic. Not safe for work art. Is it worth doing in 2025? Does Jesus approve of it? All that. I'm just going to yap as I color this comic page, as you can see on the screen. And also, I guess, I have, if you put at exclamation point say, I think it's just auto TTS. So if I'm just drawing and not looking at my screen and you want to get my attention, put at say, why do I keep saying at? Exclamation point, say, and then your message. Let's test it.
Testing.
All right, yeah. The the AI voice is a kind of a sultry female voice, so hopefully I don't come to regret that, but all good. Hopefully I trust you guys. You're not going to troll, right? So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. I'm going to just yap now. I'm going to start coloring this page. And yeah, if you guys, I don't think anyone's even watching me, which is totally cool. But, these things happen. This is my first stream, who's gonna watch little old me? So, all right, I'll just start drawing now, and anyone who says something in the chat should be able to see it. So, let's just start. So, how I got... Oh, Nano... Wow. What's up? Am I saying Nano Kitsune? Am I saying the name right? What's up, Nano? Wow, thank you for being the first ever person to type something in my chat. You are the first, so shout out to you. um, it looks like you're on Twitch, right? So, what up? What up? Yeah. So, as I was saying, I got the idea to talk about this topic on the stream, not safe for work art, because as you can see, this comic page I'm coloring, this comic was, well, it is a not safe for work comic, which I started making. I'm good. I'm doing great, Nano. I'm doing great. Good to see another mangaka. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. You're exactly the type of person I was hoping would join the stream. I was hoping this to kind of be a, attraction site for everyone who likes to make webtoons, comics, manga, whatever. So I'm glad you are a connoisseur of the craft. I have my own manga too. That's awesome. That's awesome. Do you draw spicy content like 18 plus? I know that's kind of inappropriate of me asking, but you joined the stream, so I'm wondering if you saw the title and was like, "Ooh, what kind of stuff do you draw?" So, as you probably already heard me say, I I have drawn a lot more, definitely more in the past. I've drawn kind of more raunchier things. That was more so when I was in college and unemployed because of COVID. Um, so yeah, it was more so for the money, not so for the art aspect. But I will admit, drawing naked people does teach you anatomy. So right off the bat, there's a pro. There's a nice little pro of drawing porn. But yeah, so that's how I kind of started off. And this comic, as you can see, right in this panel alone, you can see there's. I try to have sex appeal, but it's okay to ask, and it's not hentai or ecchi. I'm planning to make a little spicy character, but it's not mainly erotic. So yeah, that's cool. So Nano here, um, they they seem to be more tame. You seem to be a little more tame. And of course, it is always good to have, in my opinion, if you want to have sex appeal in your comic or whatever, that's as long as you don't go crazy with it, like you don't chimp out with it. And I think that's actually a really good way to attract viewers. You know, add attractive characters. It's kind of like the oldest trick in the book, so to speak, but it it works. It works. When I started off drawing, I my art really wasn't great. I'm still perfecting it, but despite it not being great, the fact that there was sex appeal attracted people. So definitely that's like the oldest trick in the book. But I want to say don't rely on it. Don't make it a gimmick unless you want to make an etchy series. But if you're doing something relatively serious, you shouldn't just rely on porn and sex appeal, I would say. That's Fire Force comes to mind. I know a lot of people were kind of. I didn't mind that as much, but I could definitely see why people were annoyed with the fan service and Fire Force. Do you take advices? I think mean advice. Yeah, please. I'm by no means a pro, so if you have any tips, shoot them in the chat. um. So let me just start coloring, filling in. What was I saying? So yeah, sex appeal. Oldest trick in the book. But it works. It works. Um, let me see. I should probably play. I think a little music might liven up the mood. A little music never hurts. It's just very little, but can be fun and give a lot to a manga. When I took it first, my manga looked way more little advice, but can be very fun and can be give a lot to a manga. Yeah, no, shoot, Nano. If you seems like you have a tip you want to share, yeah. Um, I'm sure a lot of people who like to make comics and stuff watch this or probably have some followers into that. So, any nuggets of wisdom, you know, feel free to share. Um, what was I saying? Music. I'm just gonna play. Hopefully it's not too loud. Let me know. Okay, that seems like it's probably too loud. Nano, please let me know if this music is too loud, if you can still hear me. I don't want the music to drown me out, but alright. Sorry, I'm just adjusting the music settings here.
Did you see the Undertale 10th anniversary stream?
Undertale 10th anniversary stream. I did not. Sounds good. Thank you, Nano. Thank you. Try to draw outside the frame and don't be stuck inside it. It can be very fun to have more freedom. Oh, I know exactly. Yeah. You're talking about having Sorry, I have two questions. First, I did not see the Undertale stream. I didn't know there was an Undertale stream. I thought we were on Deltarune. So, is there more Undertale stuff? That's interesting. And secondly, Kitsune, yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Sometimes I do full, I make it bleed outside of the panel, but in this particular page, I felt like it wasn't needed. It's just kind of people talking on this page, so I was like, oh, do I really need someone to? Although to be fair, you're right. Like maybe here, in this last panel, I could have drawn her bleeding out. It got cut off here, like, for instance, God damn it. Let me see. So, for instance, if I were to just continue drawing her here, like that actually probably would have been. That, yeah, I could have done that. I just did it for this page, but thanks for the tip, because now I could have done it easily on this page like that, like draw her little ponytail and have it bleed. Like I think bleed, is that the right word? I'm not sure, but thank you for pointing that out, and I'll definitely keep that in mind. So what was I saying? So great. Actually, that's a great point for Kitsune. Don't be afraid to go outside the borders, but I would say just to add to it, make sure you don't go over any dialogue boxes either, because it's cool to have like the panel go across borders, but if it's kind of covering stuff, it's might defeat the purpose. So Doshinji, wait, is this a manga or Doshinji? I guess I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. Dojin? I actually don't know how to say that word, but I know what you mean. This is definitely more of a dojin. It has rated A parts earlier on, which I'm not going to show. Um, the I started this comic a long ass time ago, and it was planned to be a hentai, I guess, whatever dojin. I still don't know how to say that word, but as I kind of did it more and more, I realized that I think this series would be better not as a rated A thing. So, um, I actually quite enjoyed the story aspects and the character aspects much more than the porn. Um, is it the Dojinji is a colored manga with spice? Yeah, yeah. I definitely guess this would. Is this even a manga? Like, I'm not Japanese, so and this is gonna be in English. So, would you consider this a manga? I don't know. Are you Japanese, Nano? Um, I'm not sure. I just call it a comic. But obviously, as you can tell, it's very inspired. My art style is inspired from manga. Um, uh, Actually, let me switch accounts to my no ad account on YouTube because no one wants to listen to ads. All right, what was I saying? Yeah, this comic definitely is more not. It's not something you should show to a little kid. I'll put it that way. I mean, some parts of it, yeah, totally cool. Like this page, I'm not gonna be live. I'm not gonna live stream me drawing porn. I don't think Twitch will allow that. But, um, you know, there are some not safe for work parts. That's for sure. Um, and I have to kind of be careful going in between pages like this, right? Because I had to make sure there was no nudity in any of the tabs. So that was a little precaution I had to take. I'm not Japanese, but in the Japanese culture, but I'm into the Japanese culture, and I'm learning the language too. I got Japanese motives and kanjis appear in my manga. Whoa. Okay, so you definitely know more about Japan than me. Have you ever been to Japan? Have you ever been? I have, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Um, I'm sure if you haven't, you wish you haven't been there. Oh, you'll love it. You'll love it. And if you're learning Japanese, that is great. Because I will say one of the suckier parts of Japan is not being able to communicate that well with others. Because obviously not everyone speaks English. So that was kind of like a suckier part, I would say. Um, but if you actually are learning and can communicate, that will probably elevate your experience a lot. So, W Japan. I just wish their birth rates would go up. They're going extinct. Poor people. Poor Japanese. I know a lot about the religion and history too, so I'm trying to make my manga as close as possible. Oh, that's awesome. So your manga, is it in a fantasy world? Like within your manga itself, is it in a fantasy world like One Piece or something, or is it like in the real world? Is the setting like just Earth? You know what I'm saying? Or is it kind of like in the Edo period of Japan? Like, I guess I'm asking, is the setting real life or a fictional world? Like this comic right here, I more or less imagined it in the real world. I just imagine the locations, like real cities and stuff. Um, I don't really. Yeah, this is a fictional world. Even though I'm drawing this dragon lady. As close to the real world as possible. As close to the real world as possible. My manga starts in the end of the Meiji era. Yeah, Meiji. I'm not saying that right. Meiji. Yeah, you see, specifically 19. Yeah, I was gonna ask. I'm not sure the time. All I know is the Edo period. You seem very cultured, Nano. You seem very, very cultured. Um, and I will say something I have noticed. Sometimes I feel like the Japanese, I guess, kanji, whatever, for sound effects, just looks cooler than English onomatopoeias. You know what I'm saying? So like for English, you'll just have like boom, something like that. But I feel like if it was in Japanese, it just kind of looks cooler. You know, the onomatopoeias. So that's really cool. Um, that you're actually learning that. So, we got Sonic playing. Alright. Um, so, as I'm coloring this page, I'm not stressing out too much about you know, perfectness, because this is a comic and I can't afford to make every panel just absolutely perfect, or else I will drive excuse me, myself crazy. So I'm just kind of, I do like these lines, the cross hatching lines here. Actually I'll put some more, because she has a face that's kind of shocked, so I feel like having hatch had in my sketch. So is that too much? That might be too much. Maybe I'll make them thinner. But yeah, hatching is something I'm also trying to get better at. It's I still don't understand how to perfectly blend it with colored, comics like this, but you know, I'll get the hang of it. So, it's gonna color in her skin. The Edo period is before the Meiji era, where the daimyo Oda started wars against the emperor. Oh, okay. So Demon Slayer took place before your comic, more or less. That's cool. That's cool. Very cultured of you. Very cultured of you. So, what was I saying? So, with not safe for work art, as I was kind of yapping about, there are definitely pros and cons. And, I would say the first and foremost con is a lot of payment processors do not fuck with you. That is my first point. Actually, my manga is right after the Rurouni Kenshin. Oh! That's so cool. That's so cool. That is awesome. That is awesome. I imagine there's sword fighting and things like that. Is it like magical? Are there fantasy elements in it? Is it like Rurouni Kenshin or Demon Slayer with swords, or that's interesting. Um but yeah, as I was saying, the payment processors do not like hentai or porn. They really don't. So, a while ago I made a YouTube video suggesting people drawing, spicy comics to sell it on Gumroad. And not long after, Gumroad ended up changing their policies and just completely nuking it. So that video, that part of the video didn't age well. So, it's tough. It's definitely tough. Being in the good graces of payment processors and you're drawing porn. I'm not sure how lenient they are if you're like if you're drawing like a normal comic with nudity in it, kind of like Berserk. How it's not a porno, but there's like nudity in it. I think they're more lenient with that if you can provide a case. But if you're just straight up drawing like, sex, 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 dick, 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 ass, 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 boob, boob, boobies, 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 it's not. You're probably gonna get nuked off PayPal. I'll put it that way. So that is the first and foremost thing I have noticed. Right now, itch.io is probably the best alternative. But unfortunately, from my knowledge, it's just not as. What's the word? Accessible, maybe? As Gumroad was? Because with Gumroad, you had Apple Pay and all that. I don't think Twitch has Apple Pay. And that does make a big difference, having your audience with the option of paying with Apple Pay. Because that's how a lot of people are paying nowadays. So, not having that option, it is going to screw you over. The main character is called Shiro, who is a kitsune. Oh, aka Fox God. She has an eye ability in her left eye where she can see the future. Actually, in her eyes, there's Inari's bliss. Inari is the Fox God. Oh, that's so cool. That's okay. So Inari is actually a real figure in Japan. So that's really cool of you. Do you have an explanation as? Because that's interesting. Because as you could tell, I kind of like monster girls, for lack of a better term. Like I'm drawing a dragon lady right here. So do you have like is your character like born like who are her parents? Like are her parents also kitsune? Like does she have any human in her? Because that's something those are aspects I personally enjoy, thinking about with this story actually. The whole human and demi-human, is that the word? I'm not sure, but that's really cool. That's really cool. So, what was I saying? Payment processors. Definitely, they're not very friendly to doujin artists, hentai artists, whatever you want to call it. If you're drawing porn, basically, they're going to give you some trouble. Although it's strange because I believe OnlyFans allows a Visa card, and we all know the type of shit that's on OnlyFans. So it's actually a thought I had. Like if you're a hentai artist or whatever, you draw things that are inappropriate. Could you just make an OnlyFans? I'm pretty sure OnlyFans allows that. So food for thought. Food for thought. Yeah, so that's number one reason you gotta look out for. But conversely, a pro of not safe for work art is you will have an easier time selling stuff. As long as you have somewhere to sell it, you can people are more likely to buy it. Selling spicy stuff is always a good way to make a little bank. Pardon me. I'm just checking my phone real quick. I know this is not very professional of me. But yeah. Gotta watch out for those payment processors. You gotta watch out, y'all. Um. So, but as I said, conversely, if if you have a if you are able to sell it and you find that on itch.io whatever and you have even a little bit of a following, you know that you're more likely to sell it. You're more likely to sell your stuff. She doesn't have she doesn't have parents. She's a god who sacrificed herself and got executed. I'm gonna call that as a human and got the Inari's blessing. Inari took her place after she got executed. Because Inari is the god of wise and slyness. Human, but she got the Inari's bless. So is she like? So she only has Inari's ability. She's not Inari herself, correct? And is your profile picture? I see your tiny profile picture there. Is that your main character we are discussing? She looks very cute. Very cute. Um. So yeah, if you want to sell spicy content, you can. If you're able to, sell it on itch.io or whatever, and you have a little bit of a following, that is a good way to make money. Nope. My main character looks more more like yours, who you're drawing right now. Also, she has silver hair. Well, this is a dragon lady, but she had. Oh, that I just realized. Yeah, this dragon lady I'm drawing is Japanese, in the actual story. So she probably has a kimono too, right? I don't know. Maybe I don't think she's showing as much chest probably as her, but that's really cool. um. So, not safe for work art. Not safe for work art. Shiro means white, referring to her hair color. Wow. Duh. That's great. What a beautiful name that is. Shiro. Oh shit. As you can see here, I am importing a 3D asset I bought on Unity. Saves me time with backgrounds. If you're making comics, saving time is just, you gotta save time whenever you can. Without compromising quality, I guess. I know the perspective isn't totally right here, but I'm gonna blur it out. I just need something in the background. Rasterize. I'll just blur this. And of course, you see all the spots I forgot to color. So, oh my god. So far we have payment processors. Payment processors are a big pain in the ass for 18 plus artists. But likewise, if you're able to find a place to sell it, you're more likely to make money versus selling, a PG comic. PG comics are harder to, make people care about enough to buy. Usually those have to be free. Anyways, I didn't even tell you the name of the manga is Kitsune no Mirai, means the fox of the future. That's so cool. Such a memorable name too. So I'm sure you're gonna have kind of kind of like hockey in One Piece. But hockey in One Piece, you can only see ahead of the future like maybe a few seconds, I believe. So, how far ahead in the future does your character see? Is it like very brief, like 10 seconds ahead, or can she see like days, years ahead? Um, I mean that's really cool. I'm sure that that's a really cool gimmick. I feel gimmick, that might not be the right word, but system for creative stories, for nice storytelling. Um, so next. The next thing I guess worth discussing is, so we talked about payment processors. That's probably the first damning thing about not safe for work art. I guess the next thing, well, I don't really thought about it too much specifics. I thought so much about the story. I totally forgot that. No worries, no worries. We all, I have general ideas for a story, but the specifics, that requires a lot of effort and time. No worries. Um, power systems are hard. Like for instance, it should probably have your character's abilities, unless you want them to just purposefully be overpowered. It's good to have limitations to the ability so their opponents can play into that and they can make the fights more interesting. That's something I usually think about with abilities in, this story. Like, but hey, this is why we're mangas. We have to stick together and help each other. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Drawing comics isn't a very sociable activity. It's not like basketball or sports where you just go meet people. A lot of the time, I feel like most comic creators just stick in the room like I am now and just draw by themselves for hours. It's not a very sociable activity. But when you meet someone that understands the craft, it's really cool. It's part of the reason why I wanted to, stream. Just see, like, hey, any other comic creators out there? Like, what's up? Because the thing with comics is, even if you're not the best artist in the world, if your storytelling and paneling is on point, I mean, you could really make a great series. Something so interesting. It's just such a beautiful medium. Why she looks shot? Yeah, this is actually not how she looks. I guess if you don't understand the context, she does look like she's just scared all the time. But I guess the context is this lady showed up out of nowhere, and her name is Umbretta. It's like umbrella, but with T's, not L's. And she showed up to save the red hair girl who served as bait for her to lure her out. And Umbretta here is an alien, so she doesn't have magic. And she's freaking out because she's like, how does this person not have magic? I'm not sensing any aura from her. And she slowly realizes that she's an alien. She's not from this planet. So that's why she's like, what the fuck? I like oh, wow. You draw it traditionally. Eric, my man Eric says, haven't drawn a full comic yet, but have done some not safe for work commissions. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I've done a combination of not commissions that were either comic pages or just pictures. It's still definitely, it doesn't have to be a comic or not, but, that's totally cool. I make my manga a lot. I only did Gunner art once in my life, and I realized I suck at it. Gooner art. I love that. Yeah. Um, you know, it's not for everyone, man. It's not for everyone. Uh, that's why I wanted to, talk about it in the stream. There's it looks like Eric is just joining us. I don't know if he just joined, but earlier I was talking about, payment processors and PayPal. They're really unforgiving for, not safe for work art. Um, and if you want to like make money with clients, I guess commissioners, first you got to make sure you trust them. You got to make sure you trust them because some assholes will like report you through PayPal. Um, if they don't like the work you did for them, I guess, and they could just say, "Oh, he's selling porn," and then you get banned. So that is something I've heard people do. Um, so like if you're gonna take commission work, you should like talk to them through Discord, for instance, and they'll pay you through PayPal, but you just do it as a business or service, and you just you know, don't say it's porn. Basically, that's how a lot of people do it. But you got to a degree, you got to trust the person you're doing it for, because if they chimp out and just report you for selling porn, you're busted. The reason my character wears a kimono is because it's so oversized. I don't need to pay attention to the anatomy. Yeah, that's a common thing. I used to do a lot. Just give them big ass clothes to hide the anatomy. Um, it's it is an old trick. Yeah, a lot of people do it. You know, but I will say it does help to just take time and learn anatomy when you can. Um, but yeah, kimonos. Yeah, like here, sometimes it does save me trouble with the arms, and just giving these big sleeves, these big baggy sleeves. But so I see what you mean. Um, you know, what was I saying? Yeah, so if you are going to do the commission route, the not safe for work commission route, you should probably, it might be good to have a Discord clientele, I guess, somewhere where they could reach out to you. Haven't put descriptions in the PayPal box. I have been fortunate that everyone has paid in full upfront. Yeah. That's really fortunate, Eric. I will. That is really fortunate. That you just opened up a little bit of a can of worms there. With should you make people pay up front? Should you do half up front and then the rest later? That's like there are many opinions on that. I leave the money in PayPal until the 6-month chargeback period. Yeah. Oh, that's smart. I've never gotten the chargeback, thank God. Everyone I've worked with in the past, I don't do it anymore, but back then they were happy with the work. No, that's interesting. I think back then I would just need the whole payment up front if it was like $100 or less. Was sometimes I think like one of the beefier commissions I had, they wanted like a whole comic, and that was several $100s. So I think for that one we worked the payment plan. I'm more lenient with that. There's many ways of doing it. If you have a reputation, you could probably demand the whole thing up front. That's definitely, it just depends on you. Are you a trusting individual or not? Oh my God, what layer is this? Oh my God, I hate getting lost in my layers. freaking layers? Oh, this isn't. I thought this was the black line. No, there's just nothing here. All right. Gotten several through DeviantArt. DeviantArt's a great source. Great. If you are drawing not safe for work art, you have to be on DeviantArt, man. It is a must. Through DeviantArt. And Instagram. That's really cool. Haven't pursued. Well, I meant like you don't have to pursue. Oh, you mean like after you already contacted them? Yeah. I mean, well, I assume most commissions are done through Discord. I'm not sure how you communicated, but it also helps to have a Discord server that they could join, maybe, and just no, maybe not. As long as you have a social media and you say I have commissions open and stuff, that's a good way of getting, people aware that you're you're doing stuff. So that's cool. But on Discord, you can always follow up, I guess, if you want to be like, I don't do it. It's kind of like a little bit too salesman tactic-y for me. Like, if I wanted to, I could DM all my past people on Discord and be like, yo, man, I'm free for the next few weeks. I'm doing commissions again. Would you want to do another commission? You could do that if, that's definitely something you can do, but I don't usually like to beg or ask people. That's just me personally, but you can do that if you don't give a shit. All right, so now let's start shading our dragon lady. As far as shading goes, I don't really. I just do normal cell shading. I don't think about it too much. If you look at this comic's past shading, there's probably things that aren't totally correct. All good. Again, with comics, at least for me in this comic, I just want to draw a panel that gets the point across and have shading that gets the point across. So I'm not stressing about it too much. All right, sorry. Just checking my phone again. So there's that, right? So, yeah, so as Eric said earlier, he brought up payments. That really depends on you, on the individual. But, I would say, like, if it's under, like, $60, you should probably just take it, the full thing. If it's like a $20 commission, like, bro, you don't have 20, or, I guess if you're just starting out, you can work something, but I think most people will probably just, are pretty cool just paying up front as long as it's not, like, hundreds of dollars. So just something to keep in mind, y'all. Also, if anyone watching on YouTube, I'm not sure. I can't really see the viewer count, but you guys could just leave a like on the video. If you're watching on replay, please leave a like. That would mean a lot. I don't really care about donations all that much. It's just important to, I just show your support, man. Just like the video. It's free. So, didn't finish our highlights here. Um, so the next thing with not safe for work art, I kind of talked about this in my YouTube video, but you know, it's kind of like the whole fact that people are just gonna follow you for the gooner stuff, not really. It's gonna be harder for people to take your stuff very seriously, I guess. Because if you're just drawing porn all the time, I'm still here, by the way. Hey, what's up, Nano? Thank you for chilling. Thank you for chilling here, man. I appreciate it. What was I saying? So, what the hell was I saying? Lost my train of thought. But yeah, there's just the whole fact that people would just expect you to draw gooner stuff. And if you try to deviate away from it, they won't care as much. They won't care as much. I know this kind of isn't very politically correct of me to say, but Matt, you gave me big motivation to continue my manga. I think I will keep up and make more and more better pages. That's great to hear, Nano. That's great to hear. I think your idea is really fun. And, as you can see, I love my fellow monster girls, my half human, half monster creature girls. So your idea is definitely something I give a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. So that's great. And if you ever finish the comic, shit, post it on a website and link it here. And that would be cool. So, they're not exactly monster. Demi-humans, yeah, that Monster Girls is a bit too harsh of a term. Demi-humans, that is the correct terminology. Yeah, I guess she would be a demi-human too. She wasn't born a dragon. She was a human turned. Or the demi-humans, do their parents have to be? I'm not sure of the logistics of these terminologies. Maybe I'll do some research and make sure it all makes sense. But yeah. So, not safe for work art. If people just see you posting gooner bait all the time, and then you try to deviate away from it, you're going to notice a sharp decline in likes. So this, again, I'll just continue. Oh, you already have a link. That's great. That's great. When I'm done coloring, I'll look at it if I'm still streaming. But you can check everything here. Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Nano. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I'll take a look. I'll take a peek at it when I'm done coloring this page. I don't want to get distracted. But okay, so this example, again, not very politically correct, but let's say you start an OnlyFans viewer. And on this OnlyFans, you're just doing crazy stuff. You're doing wild stuff. And you build up a huge following. And let's say one day, you you know what? I'm a good boy now. I'm not going to do naughty things on camera anymore. I'm going to just post, random stuff, safer work stuff on my OnlyFans. If you were to do that, you'll lose a lot of followers. It's unfortunate, but a lot of those people that follow creators for porn, they don't really value Thank you for looking at my work. I'm real honored. No worries. You are my first Twitch viewer. It's the least I could do, Nano. Um, so in my opinion, if you're drawing not safe for work art, like real raunchy stuff. I'm not saying like you draw kind of little risque things. No, I'm saying like you just draw straight up porn all the time. You know, people aren't going to value your intellect, you know, your stories, your characters. They're just not going to value that sort of thing. They just want to goon. They just want to goon. So, you know, that's just something to keep in mind. You know, if that doesn't bother you, then you know, maybe you'll have a career, a nice career. But, you know, at least for me, that, you know, it did bother me a lot. And, you know, now that I have a full-time job, you know, I don't need to whore myself out for money, metaphorically speaking. When I say whore myself out, I mean just like whore myself out for commissions. So, you know, that's definitely something to keep in mind. And if you're doing commissions, trying to make a full-time income, I mean, that's going to be probably most of your life. You're not going to have much time for passion projects. Like, for instance, if you don't have a job and you're just relying on making a living doing not safe for work commissions, you know, you're just going to be drawing porn for the rest of your life. You know, as crazy as that sounds. So that's definitely an advantage of having a full-time steady job. Is that you can work on your passion projects, not care about income. You know, and you're not, you know, forced to draw something you don't want to draw. You know, quite honestly, I think I did some number crunching. If I were to just, I guess, for lack of a better word, whore myself out for not safe for work commissions, I probably could make more money than my current. I should look at you guys. If I were to whore myself out with commissions and not safe for work commissions, you know, I probably would be able to make more money doing that than whatever it is I'm making at my full-time job. But the reason why I don't do that is because that'll take a lot. That'll eat up a lot of my time, and I wouldn't really have time for my, you know, for like something like this comic. You know, this comic is over 100 pages, and there's no way in hell I would have time to do that if I was making a living drawing, you know, doing commissions. Yeah, I would have to just make, you know, random quick sketches, random images, whatever, and just leave it at that. I just wouldn't have time to make my passion projects, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. Especially if you want to do it full time, like be a full time not safe for work artist. That's you know, commissions is a good way to make money, but it could also take up a lot of your time if you're making a living doing it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I'm not used to talking while drawing quite yet, so you guys, if I seem to like zone out, it's because I'm focused on the drawing. But yeah, so it's something to keep in mind. But you know, not everyone gives a shit. Some of you guys are like, bro, I will draw porn all day, every day. I don't give a shit, Brave Bird. I don't give a shit. Bring me that money, I will draw porn. All right. Well, then, maybe you have what it takes to draw adult content. I'm here, just updated my card page. Awesome, awesome. Like, if anyone else is watching, check out Nano's, or anyone watching on replay, check out Nano's thingy. Check out Nano's comic or page. I'm sure I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure there's other stuff. That's really cool. I should probably have a card too. I don't really have a card. I know a lot of people have that. So thanks for the idea there, Nano. Yeah. Don't feel bad, Nano. This is literally my first stream. So I really don't mind. And you are my first viewer. So consider it first viewer privilege. So it's always good to shout out a fellow comic creator, I understand it can be a struggle, making comics. Sometimes you feel like, do people care? Am I wasting my time doing this? I understand the struggle. It's no worries. I mean, if it was an AI comic, maybe I'll have some questions for you, but you said you're doing it pencil and paper, so that's as not AI as it gets. Man, AI. Ooh, I mean that's another thing. AI has had an impact on not safe for work art as well, I feel. It definitely has. Anyone who's spent any sort of time on DeviantArt probably has already seen a bunch of AI porn flooding it. And, remember when I said that people who are into porn, they don't really care too much about creativity or artistic stuff? A lot of them don't care that it's AI. They won't care that something is AI. As long as they could goon to it. It's been unfortunate. So, gosh, shading titties is always such a challenge. I might just do it like this. Keep it simple. A lot of if you're gonna be doing not safe for work art, you might be losing clientele to an AI bro. I send again because the other link doesn't work due to changes. No worries. No worries. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. So I think that plays perfectly to what I said earlier. AI porn is probably taking customers away from artists, I would believe. An AI bro could just generate whatever, and probably charge you $15-$20 to do it. But, for me, you are not going to, for $15-$20, bro, I'm not drawing shit. Like, that's, it'll take too much time. But someone who is using generative AI, they could charge you those prices. So, not just AI porn. Everything that makes AI takes. That's also true. Graphic designers are probably really got fucked Um, yeah, Nano says it's not just porn. Just AI in general is probably fucking up customers for people. You know, graphic designers. Especially I would say logos, things like that. You know, it's, and these AI bros, they'll charge you less for it. They'll charge you less for it because it takes 10 seconds to make. So, and unfortunately, like I said, think I said this in the YouTube video, but I personally believe most of the hate against AI art is coming from other artists. I think your average person is pretty indifferent about it. If they could get something that looks nice, that looks presentable, they don't care if it's AI or not. Whereas an artist, you'll probably be like, no, I don't care how it looks. If it's AI, I'm not going to use it or sell it or market it in any way. Hopes and Dreams playing kind of makes the speech sound a bit, this song playing, it makes me, yeah, guys, don't give up, man. Don't give up, man. AI won't win. This is hopes and dreams, determination, just like Undertale. But yeah, AI is fucking shit up, no doubt. No doubt. I have seen AI accounts on DeviantArt make a good amount of subscribers. People just don't fucking care if it's AI as long as they can goon to it. So, add some highlights. Again, I know this is probably imperfect, but I just want something to get the point across. You're filled with determination. Yeah, artists nowadays, we gotta be filled with determination, man. We gotta be filled with determination. This world really is pretty unforgiving for creatives, man. New checkpoint. Yeah. God, I gotta replay Undertale. What a great game. This world is trying to beat down artists, man. Whether it's payment processors or AI. It's just like, damn. Sometimes it's hard to be an artist, just mentally, the world, sometimes it just seems like doesn't give a shit about your art, about your creativity. So, but I guess we'll take a note from Undertale and stay determined. That's the lesson in today's stream. Well, next, I was talking about not safe for work art. Yeah, so just AI, something to be wary of. Where the fuck is the panel? Okay. Yeah. Sorry, just I really have to need to label these freaking panels, man. It's so easy to get lost. Okay, the first panel should be done. Now let's go to panel 2. Yeah, so not safe for work art. Oof. What a loaded topic. Yeah. You know, on the surface, it might seem like a great way to make some easy money, but there's definitely stuff that comes with it. What else? What else is something not safe for work art related you guys should know about? So we talked about payment processors and how they don't give a shit about you. How, you know, if you're drawing porn, your audience is just gonna want porn. Is there any... What's another pitfall I could think of? Well, there's also the fact that, you know, your friends and family, showing that stuff to them is, you know, if they ever say, hey, you're an artist? Can I see your art? And all you're drawing is fucking crazy gooner shit. Yeah. It's probably gonna be an awkward conversation. So, if you're gonna draw crazy shit, always have a safer work catalog to show people. Oh my god, what song? Wow, Saria's song. What a great... What? I'm sorry. I just love the Ocarina of Time. So, I'm just gonna hopefully try to speed along here. We got some Zelda music playing for y'all. So, I followed you on Instagram. Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I totally forgot I even plugged my Instagram. Not sure why I did that, but thank you. I'll follow you back. I'll follow you back. But only you. If someone else follows me now and I don't know who you are, I won't follow you. Only for Nano. Only for Nano. It's okay, Justin. Yeah, it's weird. I'm not sure if I should refer to myself as Justin or Bravebird for the win, you know? On Twitch and YouTube, it's like, am I Justin or am I Bravebird for the win? Like, I doubt your real name is Nano Kitsune. You know, we all have two identities. Our online alias and the real us. I'll just put black for her neck here. Yeah, so sorry, I have to try to keep the stream entertaining now. It's just when I do art, sometimes it's just easy to get distracted. I have a lot of names like Nano Kitsune. See, we all have different identities, man. We all have different identities within us. What is the real us? Yeah. No, it's cool. It's cool. Always cool to network with other artists. I personally don't know many artists, like special. Well, no, I know artists, but people who draw comics and stuff, I don't really just meet them in real life. Follow you on Instagram. Oh, Eric, hey, I'm glad you're still here, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Um, PPAP, my real name. Yeah, it looks like you're a person of many hats, man. You wear many hats. Um, yeah, I appreciate you guys following me on Instagram. Um, it's always good to have clout there because, you know, we live in the social media age, I guess. um, so, not safe for work art. Ooh. All right, where to proceed? Yeah. So, I will say, if you are, I will say the minimum platforms you should be on, if you're gonna draw that safe for work art, is DeviantArt. I would say Reddit, X, Instagram, but for Instagram, you're gonna have to like censor it. You can't be posting porn on Instagram. Pixiv, I like Pixiv. Pixiv's a good one. That's all the top of my head. If I'm forgetting something, I'll let you guys know. None Zero was my first username. I really use Nanokins as my artist name. Nakano Izumi is my mangaka name. P-Pack is my musician name. Wow, you're a musician too? Wow, you're a person of many talents. What the heck? We have musicians in the house. What type of music do you do? Yeah, social media is very important. I'm a producer as a hobby. Oh, that's awesome. Would you know how to, random side tangent? I've been considering making a little video game, a quick one. I've programmed little quick, like light novel games, like 5-minute ones with some of my art. But I can't really sell it because of copyrighted music, and I don't have music. So interesting that you say that, Kitsune. Would you know how to make like video game music? Maybe, perhaps I can reach out to you one of these days. Making a video game can be a really good way to make money as an artist as well. I make beats for rappers. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, if I ever need a hot beat, I know who to hit up. Um. mm, 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 mm. You rap too. Wow. You are really an artistic person. You can do it all. Can you dance? I mean, at this rate, can you dance? Can you juggle? You seem to do everything, Kitsune. Kinda, yeah. You see, I knew you got some hip hop. You got some soul in you. So, Yeah, I personally like to. I can do the bee walk. That's all. I've been trying to learn to moonwalk. I was considering being Michael Jackson for Halloween. Yeah. At my job, we have a costume contest. I was like, you can moonwalk. All right, I'll send you a video of me and you can give me tips before Halloween. I'll be like, hey, Kitsune, is this shit? Is this a good moonwalk? Because if I were to go at my job, if I were to go to my job, it would be the kind of like how Muzan looked with the white hat and stuff from Demon Slayer. Um, it would be that white hat Michael Jackson in the suit. It's not that hard. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting the hang of it. Maybe it's because my floor has a lot of friction in it. So it's hard for me to really get that nice, smooth motion because, you know, to me, like, the floor needs to be not have much friction. But yeah, no, I've been getting better at moonwalking. Um, it's kind of like a cool party trick to show to people. Yeah. When I was speaking of Muzan from Demon Slayer, Umbrella here, as hard to tell without her full body, but she's wearing Muzan's outfit here. Smooth motion. I mean, smooth criminal. Yes. Okay, so you're clearly very cultured. I was gonna say it was from Smooth Criminal, but I'm like, oh, do people in the chat would they know it? That's kind of like an '80s thing. It would be from Smooth Criminal. Yes, from that music video. You're very damn Kitsune, very cultured. You're very cultured. I'm. How old are you? I don't think you're older than like 30, but you seem to know who Michael Jackson is. Well, that's a rude question. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to. I shouldn't ask how old you are, but you don't have to answer it. Guess. I would say. I mean, I have no idea. I would say you're no older than 25. If I had to give a specific, I would say maybe your early 20s. Maybe there's also a chance you're like a younger kid. Maybe you're on Twitch, I guess. I don't know. The only thing I'll say is I don't think you're older than 25. I will bet on that. Close. I'm 18. All right, kind of close. Yeah, you don't strike me as an old ass person, as a grandpa. Yeah, an 18-year-old knowing Michael Jackson. I mean, I'm 25, so I'm not exactly old either, but it's interesting that Zoomers still like Michael Jackson. Yeah, that actually leads me to a good point. Making video games can be a good way to make money as an artist. Not safer work or not safer work. I made using RenPy. Come on, bro. I'm still listening to vinyl too. Wow, you are an old soul. I'm curious what your birthday is, just through an astrology and numerology standpoint. But I feel weird asking people their birthdays, because especially on the live stream, it's kind of like I don't want, it might get a little personal, but you don't have to share. Oh, all right, you shared. 27. So what is that? 9, 8. Wow. So I think you're a 9 life path. And you're an Aquarius, I believe. You're an Aquarius. I share everything gladly except my real name. Yeah, I'm not gonna ask you for your name and address or any of that. Let's see your Chinese zodiac. Um, I think you are a dog in Chinese zodiac. I think you are a dog. And my credit card, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna need your credit card number and the 3 digits on the back, Kitsune. I'm gonna need that. It's essential for this stream to continue. It's essential. um, no, that's interesting. You're a 9. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna need your social security. I'm gonna need everything from you. It looks like your Chinese zodiac is a dog. That's cool. I think dogs are very I actually don't know much. I'm a cat, personally. I send you a sample of my shit too. Yes, we need DNA samples of everyone in chat. Everyone in chat, send some blood samples. Or shit samples if you want. That's hilarious. No, actually here, I think with the lighting, I'll just, with this one, I might just make it more intense lighting. Kind of like that. Have beef. Oh wow, you even know your blood type. I actually don't know my blood type. I wonder if that's something I should be shamed for. You even know your blood type. You're a very knowledgeable person. Is this lighting a bit too much? Airbrush with the little... Yes, you should know your blood. Yeah. I should know my blood type. Damn. Eric's right. How the hell do I not know my blood type? Time to call the doctor. Yeah, what's your blood type, Eric? Let's see. Let's put you on the spot. You could add an airbrush with a little red highlight to her eye like it's... Yeah, I was gonna have her eye glow. Wow. Hey, you and I are on the same page, Kitsune. I wanted to have her eye glow. Now he asked his mom to tell. You see, he's not responding. You see, if he actually knew, Eric, if you actually knew your blood type, you would respond very quickly. So now I'm like, okay, he's going through his phone. Okay, O negative. That's... What's the difference between O negative and O positive? Isn't O universal donor? I don't know. Maybe he's just, I'm assuming, I'll give you Eric the benefit of the doubt. I assume he knew that off the top of his head. Yeah, that's rare. Yeah, that's always the rare one, isn't it? Eric, man, we got some rare blood types in the chat, man. inside of me, trying my energy. Mosquito's favorite universal donor. I can give blood to anyone, but can only get zero. Oh, damn! You can save everyone but yourself, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I'll figure out my blood type, Eric. If I'm universal donor too, I'll make sure to let you know in case you need blood. Mosquito's also fave B type is A plus. Wait, what? Mosquito's favorite B type. Oh, blood type is AB plus. Is that really a thing? Mosquitoes. So mosquitoes be tasting us like fucking. We have flavors to the mosquitoes. What the hell? Just assume it's all the same like iron taste. Trying my energy. Let me show you just what I'm made of. Yeah, so mosquitoes have preferences. Interesting. I live in Florida, and these mosquitoes are so fucking annoying. I just go walk my dog and instantly just swarmed by mosquitoes. It's crazy. I can't stand them. I live in Hungary, so I'm good. Not many mosquitoes in Hungary. Because there's sure as hell a lot of them in Florida. If I were to move from Florida, it'd be because of the mosquitoes. Can't stand those bastards. How would the shading here be? A little better like this. Yeah, you are higher on the equator. I just realized you're from Hungary and you're into Michael Jackson and stuff. What the hell? You're very, that's just interesting. Like, is Michael Jackson popular? Well, Michael Jackson's popular everywhere, so I guess I can't be surprised. He's popular everywhere. I can't be surprised. Oh, okay. I'm just educated. You are. Hungary. I'm not. I'm horrible with geography, by the way. I majored in math, but so my geography skills are not good. But it seems like you're right next to Austria, so that's pretty cool. All right, I really should probably start hurrying along now with this drawing or this coloring. But yeah, you know, I think the stream topic was not safe for work art. So, let's see. I think I covered all the major topics. Oh no, I forgot. Video games. Great way to make money. I made a light novel game using RenPy with art that I, of course, drew. I didn't sell it because I had copyrighted music, but maybe you can hire a producer or a music producer like Kitsune, get music that isn't copyrighted, and sell your game. That is definitely something. I've been in wine before. Oh. I have not been there. Actually, I haven't been in Europe, actually. I have not been to Europe, but I've been to Japan. Huh. Perhaps, I'm due for a Hungary. I'm still not sure how to say the name. Hungary visit. Yeah, you see, you gotta get a producer like Kitsune over here. Someone with no copyrighted music. And, you know, the thing with video games is you could probably sell it at a higher markup. Maybe like, I would say if you're doing like a porno game, you could probably make the price higher. You could probably jack up the price. Especially if it's a type of X-rated genre that's pretty rare and has a good audience. You could probably jack up the price, but it's not worth drawing, not safe for work art. Yeah. Bro, hi to you too, Drake. No, it's okay, it's okay. No, Danny, I think, I don't think he's being a jerk. I think part of me really, some days I think it's not worth it myself, Kitsune. I'm gonna be honest to you. So if someone were just comes in here and thinking that, and eventually I do plan on just kind of chilling out on the not safe for work art, so it doesn't offend me. I think Danny was just giving his first his 2 cents real quick. I think Danny just joined. But yeah, earlier we just been talking about the pros and cons to not safe for work art. And it's kind of it looks like you made your decision. You made your decision, Danny boy. But you don't like that. Yeah, it could simply be that it's just despicable to you. Yeah, no sound walks away. It's okay. It's okay. Kitsune. It's okay. I I not everyone is as cordial as you. All right, but it looks like Danny is just he's just like, hey, to me that shit's kind of despicable, so I'm not gonna do it. And look, it's a valid it's basic etiquette. Well, yeah, look, you're right. I guess Kitsune, you have a heart of gold, clearly. But unfortunately, not everyone is like you. Um, no, but I think to Danny's point is, it seems like he's just like, hey, that shit's I don't fuck with porn. What's good? What you drawing? I'm in the middle of a comic, Danny. Comic page. And I guess you just joined, but this comic started off as a not safe for work comic, and eventually I kind of dialed it down. Hey, it looks cool. I appreciate it, Danny. Danny Gonzalez. Danny Gonzalez. No, yeah. We were just talking about, is it worth drawing not safe for work art? We're going over the pros and cons. No rush, Kitsune. No rush. Take your time. We're just going over the pros and cons, and is it worth drawing not safe for work art in this day and age? And I was just kind of going over my 2 cents on it. And personally, I think it's really on the case per case. Nothing gets it. It's just not for me. Yeah. Look, dude, totally get it. Totally get it. It takes a certain type of person to draw not safe for work art. And to be honest, the main reason why I did it initially was for money. I personally don't. Maybe if you're drawing things that fall under your sexual orientation and you find enjoyable, you can enjoy it, I guess. But still, just drawing porn all the time is not for everyone. I'll say that. I work on my cartoon flowers and I enjoy that. Oh, you draw flowers? That's really cool. Digitally or pencil and paper. That's very wholesome. That is very wholesome. We're talking about drawing porn, and you're like, oh, I draw flowers. Damn, man. Oh, it's the name of my cartoon. Oh, my cartoon. Oh, okay. The name of the cartoon is Flowers. I thought you said you draw cartoon. You see that grammar? You see, you gotta. That's what gets me. It's not about flower. Oh, so it's not. Wait, it's called Flowers, and it's not about flowers. So is it like a metaphor? What? Interesting. Okay, I thought you were just drawing flowers and shit. You were just going outside drawing flowers in your backyard. I was like, man, we're here talking about drawing porn, and Danny's just drawing flowers. Man, there really are two types of people on this in this world. I know there's two types of people in this world, man. The God-fearing people and the crazy people. good warm up. Oh, you're okay. Awesome, man. Awesome. So you're also into making comics. You're also into making comics. Do you have like a series? You said is Flowers like an existing like series right now? Like, could we all read it if you posted it, or is it like in progress? Yeah. Not really. It's more of a pilot. I just want to pitch one day. Just doing a small comic for fun to see characters interact. Yeah, no, I know that feeling, man. You know, I personally believe, even this comic I'm drawing now isn't going to be canon, really. Um, Eventually, I want to make a webtoon that's suitable for all ages, more or less. So, even this comic right now, I'm making it isn't really, it's probably like 40% canon. I'll have to retcon some stuff later, but, it's good to just make practice before, your main idea. Um, it's more of a, or actually, or maybe Flowers is already a thing, yeah. Well, regardless, it's people say just make your comic, but I feel like if you have things still need to work out, there's no harm in making other spin-off comics or just random comics, or just learn the comic making, you know. So that's cool. That's cool. Lips. Honestly, I kind of struggle with lips sometimes. Make appealing lips. I have faith it'll go well, Danny. Even if, just making a comic, you're doing more than most. It takes a lot of effort to even just make something. So you're already ahead of the game. And, just finishing what you start is, that in of itself is really admirable. Lips. Yeah, I probably could have made her lips better, but uh, all good, all good. So as I was saying, making a video game could be a really good way to earn some extra money as an artist. Um, Obviously a lot of people are scared with the programming and this and that, but with ChatGPT now, it can really do all that for you. When I made my little Renpai game, visual novel, Doki Doki literature club type of game, ChatGPT just coded the whole logic for me. I just, so for any of you that are like, oh, make a game. I mean, sounds cool, but I don't know how to code. With I hate AI when it comes to art, but it's really useful for coding and shit. absolutely really useful. Um, so it's just food for thought. If you're gonna make, especially if you're gonna make like a raunchier, not safe for work game, you could probably sell it for a good amount of money. So just something to keep in mind. Something to keep in mind. Um, yeah. It's funny. I was talking about that earlier, Danny. I'm not really sure why I put my Instagram. It's just I do have art there. I think on a highlight, I have some older artwork. Um, it's I don't really post there as much as I should. Um, it's not really an art Instagram. It's just my Instagram, like my personal one. So I don't really have an art Instagram. So sorry. I mean, I wish I could show more. I wish I had a portfolio to show everyone. I probably should, but um, yeah, that's. I think the highlights reel is all I really have at the moment on that Instagram. I see no, not yet. Yeah, let me see. I have a highlight reel called art, I believe. So you can't see it? Hmm. Yeah. I feel like you guys are expecting like a portfolio art Instagram. Nah. It's just like I have like two posts on it. I don't like it's not very professional. But apologies if you guys wanted to see my portfolio. Um I don't really have a portfolio. Uh, 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 uh um all right. Just saw it. Oh, cool. Cool. I wonder if the next shading would be better like this. Yeah, those. Yeah, yeah. It's like even that highlight reel is very short. There really isn't stuff on it. There really is not stuff. Um, you honestly would not get a good sense of what the hell I draw on that Instagram. You got to keep in mind that that's my personal Instagram with friends and family. So I'm not gonna be posting crazy wild shit. So I gotta, occasionally when I draw something cute, I'll post it there. But you know, for the most part, I'm not. Maybe that makes sense. Nah, I gotta be darker. Yeah, shading, shading, shading. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. Yes, I know a lot of people have like their nice professional portfolio. I just, honestly, drawing, I guess I don't take it as seriously as I should. It's just more of a fun hobby. This comic is now more of a hobby for me. Before I kind of did it for the money, drawing raunchier shit, but now it's just I don't take it too seriously. Mine is not professional. I wish, yeah. I see some of these portfolios. I'm like, bro, I gotta get my shit together. Yeah, I just draw what I want. Like, you know, I just draw what I want. Like I'm not thinking in terms of a portfolio. You know, for better or worse. Yeah. Um, yeah. Yeah, my shading and rendering could use some work, but all good. All we can do is grind. Well said, Danny. Well said. Gotta grind, bro. Is that a good eye glow? Too intense, maybe? Not a good intensity to it. You know, sometimes I feel like shit just doesn't look as cool as I imagined it. Oh well. I'll see you at the red carpet. Yeah. Yeah, Danny, I'll see you as well, man. See, right now is the boring part. We all just gotta grind, do the repetitions. It's not very sexy, but you know, we'll make it. We'll be in the red carpet someday. People don't care about the grinding part, just the results. Yeah, so maybe I should have some shading here. Yeah. You know, the comic journey is definitely a grind. Definitely a grind. Um, no one's done it in a while, but you can also say at. Oh, I keep saying at exclamation point say, and then your message for TTS. So I would just to make sure that's working. Maybe someone wants to test it out because I feel like everyone's just been just. I'll finish character sheets and comments for now. Yeah, I don't even have character sheets, man. So you're ahead of me. You're ahead of me. I don't like all these people right now. You're saying I don't have any sheets from. Uh, Guilty. Yeah, someone put exclamation point say, and then the message. Yeah, crying. Yeah, bro. I don't have character sheets. That's kind of embarrassing. I promise I'll have character sheets before I make my webtoon comic, though. I promise. All right, Danny. I've up until like recently, I've just kind of been improvising everything as I go, like as I make the comic. No preparation. Don't do that. Don't do that. Even the story, I would just improvise it as I went. I just wanted comic practice. I didn't really care about all the prepping. Yeah, it is a lot of work. A lot of the non-comic stuff is work. Just planning the story, where the panels and dialogue is going to be. It's a freaking lot, dude. It is a lot. All right. Maybe. The eye just feels a bit flat to me. No, Nano had to go AFK. Not sure what he or she or they are doing. That's all good. Nano's been here for a while. I mean, we all have lives. We all got lives. So, God, whew, these that was only the second panel, but I got my work cut out for me. So, was Nano mad? Oh, I'm here to see you reach the stars. Danny, I appreciate that. And look, I'm here to see you reach the stars too, my man. Because, clearly you understand the comic grind. You understand the struggles. And you know what? I believe in you. I'll see you when you get your adaptation. I'll see you on the red carpet when you're holding your trophy. When you're thanking your mom. All that. We'll both see each other do it. Actually, I should probably lighten this background, have more contrast. Yeah, contrast, something I didn't really realize. Very important. Now you can really see her hair more. Thanks. All good. All good, Danny boy. Damn, alright. Well, I've been streaming for 2 hours now. I gotta walk my doggy. So I think I'll leave it on this note, but for those of you who, oh, thanks for following, Danny. Appreciate that. You kind of showed up towards the end, so maybe I'll catch you again and explain anything that you might have missed, but. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it for today, y'all. Danny and Nano Kitsune, thank you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Eric as well. You guys, this is my first ever stream. So, the fact that I had anyone watching is just great. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. And have a blessed day. Have a blessed week. Tomorrow's Monday. For those of you who are working or go to school, just pull through, persevere. All right, I'm right here working with you. So have a blessed week, everyone, and I'll catch you next time.